What is up, YouTube? I want to make this video fairly quick. Um, it's something that I've been thinking about for over 2 years. I mean, in my last, it's kind of related to my whole project and like what I'm doing. Why do my lips look like that? Like I feel like my mouth is so relaxed right now. um, but it's gonna be pretty quick. But life only happens once, and I know that's like easy to say and it's kind of obvious. Obviously, your life is only one timeline, but right now, our timeline, like our human timeline, I mean, maybe in the future, someone changes our timeline and it becomes like Tenet where they can change the entropy of particles and shit. But for now, we're moving forward, right? And when you're moving forward, you have to realize once it's in the past, it's in the past. What has happened, happened. You can no longer tap into that or go back to that moment or try to remix it and make it better. You can't. Obviously, you can copy, but you will never get the exact same thing you once had. And so I just watched a video essay about how the Oscars have fell off and how they've just become an agenda rather than like an actual award show. And people talk about this guy said like uh, the Oscars will never were like this once and they'll never be like that again. And that's the truth. That is the truth. Um, when you think about the music, how it was in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, you have to realize that is one era. That is one brief, brief moment in the timeline. Not even brief. Teensy, teensy, tiny moment in the timeline from 1945 to 1994 until Kurt Cobain died. That is a very, very short time in the entire human timeline for all of us to be like for all of us living on this earth and even beyond that, right? Even beyond that. And so you saying that, oh, those times will come again. No, they won't. They won't come again. And you can either get really depressed by that or you can get really motivated by that. Because if those times won't come again, let's say we've regressed, so now we're lower than those times were. We're lowerly, we're at a cultural low point, right? But if we are to rise again, if we are to elevate culture to a certain point, it's going to be better than that was. So that should be motivating. You can't go back. We can't go back to a time where AI didn't exist. We can't go back to a time where we're just all off our phones. Like people have this it's like kind of like this idea of returning to nature. A lot of people want to return to nature, live very ancestral or holistic and eat like whole foods all the time and be primal and like imitate hunts. You can't do that. Like you can theoretically, but to have that entirely better than it was before, you can't. If you were to remake it, it would only be worse than it was before. So then why would you even want to do that? Right? So it's like if like what's happening now is that culture has reached a low point, but then we try to remix. We try to bring about these previous times and we bring them up to now and we try to make now about then and or or like apply then to now and vice versa, whatever. But we can't do that. It will never hit the same. You saw it with in 2020 we all went into like hip hop and think about it, bro. In 2020, like it was like Biggie and Tupac, and everyone started listening to like hip hop. I feel was that not popular? Like the retro, vintage, baggy jeans aesthetic. Like I feel like personally for myself, like personally me, I got really into '90s and early 2000 hip hop during COVID. Odd. Um, but then it doesn't really matter. Now we're seeing a shift into 2016. It's like, why are we just keep like constantly reliving this? Like like we're repeating these previous times, or we're trying to repeat these times, but they will only be worse than the actual times itself, because number one, it's temporary now. It's like, you're getting it for a second time, and it's just like a fad, and it's just trending on TikTok, so it's not gonna you're not actually living it, right? And then number two is that it's not collective. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, like, not all of us want to be living back in 2016. Like, 2016 was how it was, and it was that looking back. Like, you lived in 2016, it's 2020 or it's 2026 now. You look back on 2016, you can reminisce, but you don't repeat. You can reminisce, but don't repeat, you know? And so what's happening is that people are just banking on nostalgia. People, I mean, I don't want to say people as in me and you, whoever watching the video. I want to say them, who they are. I feel like they're just trying to give us something because they have nothing themselves, because they're not creative. They're not creative people. That's the biggest thing, is that you have to realize these people who are influencing the majority, right? They are not creative. That is the turtle showing its neck out of its shell. That's the thing. They cannot create. They are not tapped into the imagination. They're they're physical. They are stupid. Like, literally, they are like intellectuals, but they do not have the imagination. They do not have the good. They do not have the indomitable human spirit. Okay? And so that's the thing, is that we're seeing this now. The Grammys suck. Everything sucks. And the thing is that it will never, never, ever, 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 ever be back to what it was. It will never be that good ever again. But, when something ends, that dawns a time for something to rise. And so, whatever will rise eventually, it will be different. It's not going to be the Oscars. It might even be something entirely new. Because think of it. Obviously, music has existed for, like, millennia. But the way that we consume music and the way that we make music, like, all this stuff of, like, oh, I want to be a musician and be an artist and whatnot, that is a very new concept. Obviously, people would always create. There was craftsmen. There was sculptors. There were people, like life thrive. Like, even if you were doing a physical job, you were theoretically still an artist, right? Like, if you were building, like, if you were an architect, like, you would build a building based off your imagination and your image, and that was still considered art. So you wouldn't really have to be an artist. Does that make sense? Because you already get that creative output. You already get, you already have something to tide you over, I guess you could say. Like, you don't really need to be, like, grinding your 9 to 5 office job and then come home and do the arts. Like, you could just live a life of beauty and truth and good. So that I would like, society to get back to. That'd be amazing. But the thing is, like, we wouldn't get back to that. We wouldn't get back to craftsmen, architects, like, the truth, like, just, like, the simple, like, one job for you. You work that job your entire life, but it provides you, it just provides you with the immense amount of gratification and I don't know, like, whatever, a good life. You just have a good life. Like, we're not gonna get back to that exactly, but we can still achieve that good life. It would just look different. And so, yeah, like, these times have passed. The whole thing of, like, being a musician in the 70s and 80s and just wanting to be a band and creating it and then becoming famous, like that's over. That's over now. And when I say you have to realize that, I'm saying you yourself, actually, because that means you cannot just do the things that they did and apply to now. And so I think a lot of people, when I say, oh, I'm in film, they might think, oh, I just want to make videos and then hope it blows up and get into the industry. I don't fucking want to get into the industry. Okay? I'm trying to build up the next generation. Okay? I'm not using film to create movies the way they've been made, because you can't make those anymore. It's not, first of all, it's not worth it, and second of all, who the fuck is gonna watch that? Like you're spending all this money and it's just not rational. And so the rational thing to do is make something adjacent to film, right? Make something that has the same idea of like storytelling, but make it about something that is relevant. Make it about something actually inspiring. Be authentic, and then also you yourself do something too. Don't just like make film and that's it. Oh, I'm a filmmaker. Yeah, I'm a filmmaker. Yeah, like you yourself have to be an actual embodiment of hope, and you have to be strong. You can't just be like a Vincent Gallo who makes a S tier level film and then is a complete douche and like kind of an odd guy, because then you're just that is a very very like you could do that in the past, but now you can't. I don't think you can. I don't think you can. So overall, this video is just about what's happened. If it's in the past, we cannot go back. But what we can do is learn from that time period that we want to go back to, remix it, alter it, and create something new. It's the only way to create something new, to copy, right? Not to steal, but to copy. And so it's dark times right now, but there is hope. There is always hope. Peace.